Uh, Hi, Virgo. One toe. That is the image Spirit pressed forward before anything else today. Not a leap, not a dive, not the full committed plunge of someone who has made their decision and is acting on it completely. One toe. Tentative. Testing. Feeling for the temperature of something before committing the rest of the body to it. The specific, careful, I need to know what I am getting into quality of someone who wants something but has enough history, enough of their own careful relationship with vulnerability to approach it slowly rather than all at once. Someone is approaching you slowly. And the slowness is not indifference. The slowness is care. The specific, deliberate, I do not want to get this wrong care of someone for whom what they feel about you is significant enough to warrant the caution. Because you only test the water carefully when the water matters. When something is at stake in the temperature, you find when the answer to the test will determine something real, take what is yours today. What resonates, let it reach you without the deflection of someone who has learned to be cautious about good things. What does not, release it gently. But for those of you who have been sensing it, the specific, slight, almost imperceptible quality of someone beginning to orient toward you more deliberately. This reading names exactly what that sensing has been picking up. Let me speak about what testing the water actually is, because the phrase is familiar, but the specific quality of what it represents deserves attention. Testing the water is not ambivalence, is not the uncommitted hovering of someone who has not yet decided whether they care. It is almost the opposite. It is the behavior of someone who has already decided they care and is now carefully, methodically, I need to know if this is safe, assessing the conditions before they commit to the full expression of what they feel. Soft sigh. The decision came first. That is the specific thing Spirit is pressing me to establish clearly because it changes everything about how you interpret the small, tentative, one toe at a time quality of what this person is currently doing. The feeling is decided, the wanting is decided. What is not yet decided, what the testing is designed to assess, is whether the water is warm enough to receive what they are bringing. Whether the risk of the full commitment will be met with the warmth that makes it worth taking. Whether you are in the specific, reciprocating, I am here too sense available for what they are approaching. They are asking a question, not in words, in the small, deniable, low stakes gestures of someone who has not yet found the courage or the right moment for the direct version. In the quality of a message that is slightly warmer than necessary. In the reaching out that could be explained as casual, but carries something beneath the casual that the casual framing cannot quite contain. In the look that lingers a fraction longer than the context requires. In the specific accumulated quality of small moments that individually mean nothing and collectively mean everything. The question is, are you interested? Not in those words, but in the precise, wordless, entirely legible language of someone who is putting small pieces of themselves forward to see how they are received before putting forward the larger ones. Who is calibrating the risk of the full declaration against the evidence of your response to the preliminary ones? Who is reading you carefully, attentively, with the specific quality of observation that genuine feeling tends to produce for signals about whether what they want to bring is something you want to receive? Ooh, now hear them because their voice is pressing forward quietly today in the specific register of someone who has not yet found the words for the direct version, but whose interior is considerably more articulate than their external behavior is suggesting. I am trying to find out if this is safe. Not safe in the absence of danger sense. Safe in the specific, emotionally precise sense of whether what I bring toward you will be received with the quality of care that it deserves. Whether the temperature of the water, the warmth of your response to the tentative things, the quality of your presence when I am in proximity to you, the specific texture of what you return when I offer something small is telling me that the larger offering will be met rather than dropped. Because I have been hurt by the unmet offering before, have brought something significant towards someone and found in the bringing that the something significant landed without the reception it needed to survive the landing. And I am not interested in repeating that. Not because I have decided that the risk is not worth taking. I have not decided that, but because I want to take the risk with some evidence that the conditions are right, that what I bring will find ground rather than air, that the water is warm enough for what I am about to put in it. Oh, feel the specific quality of that, because that is not the voice of someone who is playing games, who is strategically deploying small gestures to produce a desired reaction while maintaining plausible deniability. That is the voice of someone who has been hurt before and is moving towards something they want with the specific, careful, self protective intelligence of a person who has learned that the size of the risk should be proportionate to the evidence of the safety. Who is gathering that evidence? One small gesture, one tentative approach, one carefully calibrated toe in the water at a time. And they are gathering it from you. Reading your responses to the small things with an attention and a specificity that you may not have realized was operating. Every response you have given to the tentative gestures, however small, however unremarkable the gesture itself, has been data, has been informing the assessment, has been contributing to the picture they are building of whether the water is the temperature they are hoping for. Soft sigh. Now I want to speak to you about what this moment asks of you. Because being tested, having someone calibrate their risk against your responses, is its own specific situation that deserves honest navigation. And the navigation, when it is done well, does not require strategy, does not require the calculation of the optimal response to produce the desired outcome in the person testing. Requires only one thing: honesty, your own genuine response to the genuine gestures, not performed, warmth designed to draw them in, not performed coolness designed to protect yourself from the exposure of being seen, wanting someone who has not yet fully declared themselves. The actual temperature of your own water, which is the only information that makes this test meaningful. Because if they are testing to find out whether the conditions are right, whether what they want to bring will find ground, then the only useful response you can give is the true one, the one that tells them accurately what the temperature actually is. What is the temperature actually? Not what you think it should be, not what feels safe to acknowledge. What it actually is in the honest, undefended, this is what I feel when I am honest with myself place, that is always the most reliable source of information about where you stand. Because here is what Spirit is pressing me to say about your side of this, not just about them. Your water is not cold. It has not been cold. And the specific, careful management of your own response to the tentative gestures, the slight pulling back, the deliberately unrevealing quality of what you return has been producing in them a reading of the temperature that is not entirely accurate. Not because you are being dishonest, because your own relationship with vulnerability has its own version of the test. Your own one toe, your own careful calibration of what is safe to show before the other person has shown enough to make showing safe. Two people, both testing, both reading the responses to the small things for evidence of the temperature of the larger ones, both holding back just enough that the reading each of them is getting is slightly cooler than the actual water. And the result, the specific, a slightly frustrating result of two careful people being careful simultaneously, is a mutual test that is producing readings that are accurate about the caution and inaccurate about the warmth. The warmth is there on both sides. More warmth than either of you is currently allowing the other to accurately measure. And the reading that would change the pace of this, that would move the testing from the slow, one toe at a time approach towards something fuller, is the one that comes from allowing a slightly truer temperature to show not all of it, not the full, unguarded, this is everything I feel declaration that neither of you is ready for yet. A slightly truer version. Enough warmth to tell the truth without abandoning the safety. A degree warmer. That is the invitation of this reading, not a dramatic shift, not the abandonment of the careful approach that has kept both of you protected. Simply 1 degree warmer in how you respond to the next small gesture. 1 degree more honest in the temperature you allow to show. Because 1 degree, when the person reading it is paying the quality of attention they are paying, is not a small thing. It is the difference between a reading that says, not quite yet, and a reading that says, keep coming. And they need to hear keep coming, not demanded, not performed to produce a specific outcome. If that is the truth of your water and spirit, is suggesting that it is then allowing a slightly truer version of that truth to show is not risk, it is accuracy. The specific, useful, this changes the pace accuracy of someone who has decided to give the test the honest answer it is looking for. Soft sigh. They are getting ready. That is the energy I feel most strongly in this collective today, not the hesitation of someone who has not yet decided, but the specific preparatory quality of someone who has decided and is gathering the final evidence they need before the commitment of the fuller approach, who is almost there. Who needs the reading to confirm what they are already inclined to believe, that the water is warm enough, that the ground is there, that what they are about to bring will find its landing? Give them that reading. Honestly, 1 degree warmer, and watch what happens when someone who has been carefully testing the water finally gets the confirmation they have been cautiously, patiently, one toe at a time, looking for. They are going to come in all the way with the full, committed, no more testing quality of someone who has found what they were looking for in the temperature and has decided that the conditions are right and the risk is worth it, and the water, which is you, is exactly as warm as they were hoping it would be. Be that warmth, not performed, actually in the 1 degree truer, slightly more honest, this is what my water actually feels like way of someone who has decided that the test deserves the true answer. The water is warm on both sides, and someone is about to find out. If this reading found you today, if something here named the careful, tentative, one toe at a time quality of what is happening between you and this person, and gave you something solid to stand on as it unfolds, stay close. Subscribe and come back. Because the story of what happens when someone finally comes all the way in is one worth witnessing all the way through. And the next reading will be there for every step of what the warmth makes possible.